BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
Hello, and indeed ahoy hoy, and welcome to this here episode of BRB UK. It's episode 394. I'm one of your hosts, although Coleman seems to be doing that mostly these days. My name's Dan. He has more time to do the things than I do, for which I'm forever grateful. Coleman, hello.
Hi.
I will come back to you in 2 ticks. I've just got to quickly say hello to Tim before he explodes. Tim, hello.
Hello.
How is your bladder this week?
Hopefully okay. Still old.
You had a record 2 wheeze during last week's show.
It was quite a long show, and I only took the second one as Coleman was already off on a break. We were on a break!
But anyway, Coleman, I need to speak to you.
Yes.
I need to apologise, for my audio was terrible last week, and I need to apologise to you, dear listeners, as well. Something in my audio equipment just gave up the ghost, and that had a horrible buzzing noise throughout it. So if your brain fell out of your ears as a consequence of that, my sincere apologies. If it didn't, it means Coleman's a superstar, and he managed to make it all go away, so I just need to apologise to Coleman.
The majority was fixed and easy enough to do. I wouldn't want to do it every week. But yeah, there's still some buzzing part way through, and mostly towards the end.
Make Dan's audio great again.
I want nothing to do with that meme anymore, thank you very much.
Okay.
So yeah, different mic. I was expected to have a same mic, brand new thing, but Amazon managed to deliver it to an undisclosed location, whilst apparently handing it to me. So it's been a fun week. Other bits of this fun. My graphics cards started making weird noises as well.
Hey!
And Nvidia have gone, yeah, we'll send you a replacement. You've got to send the old one back first. I was like,
ooh,
why?
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 Can't have two at once, Dan.
I'm happy for you to put a hold on my credit card. That's fine.
2 graphics cards can't occupy the same space at the same time.
Why not say, I will take a photo with my graphics card and today's newspaper to prove that I have it. And then you send me the new one, then I'll send you this one I don't want back.
I'll send you it back in pieces.
Because I kind of need to use this while it's making the noises.
Well, exactly. But anyway. Chaps, I hope your week has been less filled with technological nonsense.
I've had a lot of fun with my BT TV, but hey.
Brilliant.
Why have you had fun with your BT TV?
It wasn't very good at receiving TV signals, which is a problem for a TV
Okay,
box.
so it's just a BT.
Then it stopped playing the apps, which made it entirely useless. Then I had to get it fixed during the whole outbreak thing, which was a hassle and a nuisance and took
Still
longer
going on,
and blah, blah,
FYI,
blah.
Tim.
And yeah, but also, yeah, like as in I didn't want them to send an engineer to my house, and they have insisted on sending 2 of them if I want TV back. And I still don't have the problem fixed, and I'm paying more money, and I don't have HD anymore. And I'm not happy about it.
They have fleeced you, son.
Yeah, I have an argument to have later in the week, and I've already had multiple hour to hour and a half conversations with BT in the last month.
Which branch of customer services are you in?
Various flavours, because they've got 2 different problems that they're trying to deal with for me.
One is the TV problem, one's this Burke that keeps phoning them about it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's this guy called Hibbs. He won't go away. Maybe they're taking the Trump approach to testing, saying, well, if we don't give him a phone line, he can't speak to us, therefore there isn't a problem. That's big brain thinking.
Still got a phone line, still got an internet. One of the interesting problems is my BT router can't speak to my BT TV box reliably. It does it, just not every time.
But front room is still where technology goes to die.
Yeah, this sounds like a drop in the ocean of the Hibbs household of technology.
All I'm going to say, Tim, is the common through line here is you, okay? Just going to put that out there.
Yes. But no, it is also not functioning correctly. And they have agreed that it's not functioning correctly, but they also don't know why it is not functioning correctly. So this is fun.
Anyway, if you work for Nvidia or BT, please make our lives easier. That'd be great.
I've had no technology problems.
I did also do something I'd never done before this week.
Had a shower.
It's very off topic.
Had a wee.
But
Oh wait, no, you do that.
You do that
3 seconds.
every minute.
I bought a carpet. I've never done that in all the years I've lived in my flat.
For the living room?
I bought a carpet for my bedroom. which I'm currently
okay.
decorating.
Oh,
But hey,
wow. And have you fitted it, or have you just got a big roll of...
This is the most middle-aged conversation
Exactly.
beginning of a podcast
Is it just
we've
rolled
had.
up? Is it just rolled up, or are you sure you're not confusing a carpet with a rug?
Well, I got a really good deal, I have to say, so hey.
So you just thought you'd buy it, even though you didn't need
I
it?
bought an offcut of a really high-quality carpet that was usually 30 quid a metre, and I got the whole thing for like 225 quid.
Like
So,
the
you know.
idea. I've got this image of Tim at like a flipping Arabian bazaar with this guy with the fez on going, hey, lovely carpet for you. Very cheap, very good.
Not right size.
Bought a magic carpet, obviously.
Which is technically a rug.
Yeah. I again, somehow, Tim, I'm going to guess you might have been fleeced here again. Was it the same bloke who sold you your BT TV?
No, fortunately.
I fit your TV, I fit your carpet. Very good, very cheap.
So anyway, enough of this middle-class fun.
Yeah, I was going to talk about Star Wars, but stuff it. Let's talk about carpets and BT.
To be fair, Star Wars is technically middle-aged at the moment anyway.
All right,
so.
fair enough. We'll get to that later.
Since Tim's buying random crap, are we feeling flush with cash?
Yep.
Do you know why? If we're flush with cash, you know what I'd like to buy?
Would it be one of the studios that AT&T are looking to offset to make up for their $200 billion of debt?
Isn't $200 billion the amount that the Bank of England's, obviously in pounds, has just magicked out of somewhere to help our economy going?
Maybe.
So our economy, our stimulus package to our economy could buy AT&T's debt. So therefore we could own a bit of America.
I don't want to own someone else's debt. Thanks, Dan.
I believe $200 billion is the estimated cost of a PlayStation 5 with 2 controllers, the camera, the headset, and a game. AT&T, they purchased Warner Media for $109 billion in 2018. 2 short years later, they've managed to get themselves in $200 billion of debt.
So it was worth $109 billion. Now someone's gonna have to give someone $200 billion just to take off your hands.
No. That's $109 billion was just for Warner Media, and they're $200 billion debt. I would guess I might know where $109 billion of that debt came from.
This is a report, this isn't confirmed yet, but this is CNBC. They've come out to say that this is apparently what is going on behind the scenes, and they're looking to offset the debt by getting rid of some of their different companies and stock and stuff that are under their umbrella. Yeah, and apparently Warner Media is on the chopping block. Now, if you didn't know, Warner Brothers Interactive is one of the things that are on the chopping block, which contains some of the studios like NetherRealm, Rocksteady.
Whoa, Rocksteady. I like them.
I like Rocksteady too, so I reckon we should have a whip round and see if we can just buy Rocksteady. The unfortunate problem is, if someone was to obtain Warner Brothers Interactive and pick up these studios, you would not pick up the license agreements to like Batman or Harry Potter, which is their 2 big earners.
That's not a good deal.
No.
Well, I mean, the talent's good, but it's in terms of franchises.
Well, if you've got NetherRealm and you've got Rocksteady, they're 2 very amazing studios with the output of what they bring to the table. Like the Batman games are amazing, and people have been calling out to see what they can do outside of the Batman verse. So you could make a story about a completely new superhero whose parents were murdered as a child, and he goes out in a cape and cowl called Catman?
But that's the thing, we don't actually know what Rocksteady are currently working on. There was lots of rumours about a Justice League game or a Superman game or another Batman game.
Well, I'd imagine Warner International would probably want to keep the whole DC universe side of things.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a problem. If they've got a game that they're a couple of years into developing that they now can't release, that could be a huge problem for Rocksteady.
Just sort of off my own head here, I don't think that they are working on a Batman game or a DC tie-in game, because there were rumblings in the past they were working on a Superman game, which I think concept art did actually get leaked of a mock-up for
it didn't seem to get very far, no?
Then there was the idea that they were going to work on a Justice League Silver Age type of video game, which apparently they've come out and said that's not true. They said there were rumblings that were working on a Suicide Squad game to tie into the Batman Origins game, Arkham Origins game that came out. It looks like there's a Batman game in the works, very hush-hush behind the scenes, but that's by Warner Brothers Montreal, who made the Arkham Origins game.
Right.
Okay.
So they could be working on something completely new, but then again, their last game was a Batman game, and it was a VR game, so maybe they could be working on some sexy VR game.
No, they're a very talented studio, though. I mean, and, I'd love to see them do well.
If you were to pick up NetherRealm, you would pick up Mortal Kombat, because that is their own license.
Ah, that's good. That's a better deal.
Okay.
But you wouldn't pick up Injustice, I'd imagine.
But I would imagine...
Same problem.
I would imagine both Microsoft and Sony will be fighting tooth and nail to try and buy these studios if they are available at the moment, no? So that might help drive up the price a bit, because they know they want exclusive titles, and if they could get Mortal Kombat as exclusive to either platform, I think that would be a big feather in their cap.
Well, I don't know, because the Mortal as a franchise makes so much money. It would be a risky move to limit it to just one platform from a return on investment point of view from that franchise.
The current rumblings as well, there might be interest from Microsoft has been thrown out there, EA has been thrown out there, and also Activision Blizzard. They seem to be the three names that pop up a lot in these reports. One of those I think I'd be okay with. Two of those I'd say run Warner Brothers Interactive.
For the hills.
I would have thought that Sony would have added themselves to that list as well. They've got quite strong connections with Rocksteady. Like, there's always been a reasonable relationship with them in terms of displaying Batman content, and also, as you say, the PSVR game that obviously wasn't available on other platforms and stuff. Well, it was available on PC, but it was an exclusive for PSVR.
It was times exclusive for PSVR,
yeah. And so, I would have thought, Mortal Kombat's obviously a big title, but like you say, it's not necessarily in the interest of the studio, but if it keeps them safe for a long period of time, and they don't need to worry about their sales as much if they get taken in house. It's something where you've got good games and they're going to pull audience to those platforms. So I think it makes sense for any of the major platforms to try and purchase either of those.
Can you imagine if PlayStation had Rocksteady and they could put them to work on, they could use their Marvel connections and get another exclusive Marvel game?
Oh.
So there's been a whole load of new stuff going on. There's been some Pokemon things, including a Pokemon Snap.
Before we go into Pokemon, which you've now got me saying wrong.
That was my plan.
There's loads of E3 replacement stuff going on at the moment, and we just don't have the time to talk about everything because it kind of got sprung on us, some of the stuff at the last minute that we didn't know was going on and what have you. So what I did is I went through Pokemon Presents, the PC Gaming Show, IGN Summer of Games, the Guerilla Collective, Upload VR Showcase, and I picked a few games out of there that I liked the look of and I thought might be worth checking out. So if you will indulge me for a moment.
Okay.
Mate, I will indulge you as much as you like.
So first of all, I'll go Pokemon Presents. There's a couple of things that they announced. The first one, which I had to tell my girlfriend because she's a school teacher at a primary school, but there's a Pokemon Smile, they called it, which is a toothbrushing application. It's free. There's no in-app purchases or anything, and it looks like a genuine good way of getting kids to clean their teeth, which is a good thing when some sections of London are the lowest areas of child tooth hygiene in the UK, apparently.
Or is it just going, oh, Mum, I want to be like a Pokemon and have some teeth?
I think the idea is you brush for the right amount of time in front of a camera, and it will do like some filters and stuff to give you like a Pokemon hat and what have you, and then when you finish you can catch a Pokemon. But I thought it was cute. Anyway, on to the actual games. The Pokemon Cafe Mix was, I thought, looked quite interesting because it's a game that's going to release on both mobile and Nintendo Switch at the same time. This is a free to start experience. The idea is you run a Pokemon cafe where you are recruiting Pokemon as staff to help you in the cafe, and in order to serve dishes you have to do puzzles.
Puzzles like get 2 slices of bread and some ham.
No, it's block puzzles essentially, but they're done in kind of a swirling motion.
Yeah, solved ham sandwich.
It's like your Puyo Puyo, your Tetris, your Yoshi's Cookie type style, but it's done through like a touchscreen swirling motion, and I haven't seen that before in a puzzle game, so I'm quite interested in that.
What I'm more interested in is perving at Pokemon using a telephoto lens whilst hiding in a bush.
Well, you'll be happy with this because 1999's Pokemon Snap has finally re-emerged with a sequel, which There's new Pokemon Snap that is coming to the Switch. This one's being developed by Bandai Namco. We've just seen a teaser trailer for it. It looks really, really nice. I don't know if it's meant to be a remake of the N64 version with some additions made to it, or if this is a brand new game, but they've written new Pokemon Snap. I'm assuming that's a new game. It looks lovely.
I think it looks wholesome and not at all seedy like my introduction of it made it sound.
PC Gaming Show 2020, I've got 4 picks here. So Oubliettes?
Yes.
Oubliettes, I believe. It's a farming simulator, which I'm not really interested in. But if you check out this trailer, everything is so colourful and whimsical and cartoony that it looks insane. It looks like from the creator of Katamari or something.
Well, no, it looks like Wattam was where I was going to go with that.
That was the one I was trying to think of, yeah. So it's like a farming place where you live in the town of Oob, and you have to farm, and you make friends with oubliettes, and you can have dance-offs with them. So there you go.
Hey, look, that is actually my preferred way of solving any dispute, is a dance-off.
Proteus, I believe it's called. This one's a first-person shooter, which I really like the look of. It's done using old-style pixel art. Think more so Duke Nukem Doom era, where the pixels are made to make it look slightly 3D. Well, I know it's technically 3D, but the way it looks like what they've done is they've interlaced the pixel art over 3D objects, and it's made I think there was a game a little while ago that tried something like this, and it looked good, but then when it came out, it was a procedurally generated bullet hell, and it wasn't actually that fun. This one looks really, really good, so check out the trailer for that. Project Wingman that I've picked out just for Tim. This one it looks like made by fans of Ace Combat, Tim.
Hey, look, you stick that bad boy in normal mode and you're sorted.
Yeah, it's jet fighters, it's a simulation game. There seems to be story modes to it as well, much like Ace Combat, but as well, I thought Tim would like this, VR capable.
Yeah.
Yeah, son.
If you're making that sort of game these days and not making some, at least some VR content for it, I think you're doing it wrong. But hey, it's the best way to
if you could add a novice mode, if you're listening,
yes,
developers.
Yes. Novice mode,
please. Shadows of Doubt. This one is a first-person detective stealth game, which is a very noir-influenced style, and it's it looks like it was made using a voxel kind of style of art, and again, it's something I've seen used in other games, but not to this degree, which is why it caught my eye. But again,
I would say it looks like Minecraft Noir.
Minecraft Noir, yes. But it looks like they took Minecraft, but they added at least 10 more pixels to those voxels. So it's stunning. Then over to IGN Summer of Games, I was very excited to see Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX.
Really? I thought that was before your time.
No.
Miracle World.
That was my first console game, I believe. That wasn't.
Did you get it? Was that the one on the Little Master System card or in a proper cartridge?
It was in a proper cartridge, but in the UK, the cartridges are very scarce because the game came built in as a pack-in for the
very good
Master System 2, which was the version I had, and over in the US the pack-in was Sonic the Hedgehog, I believe. So they've all
got ADHD over there.
I just think Alex Kidd wasn't the big Mario killer that they intended it to be, and instead Sonic the Hedgehog was. But if you had Alex Kidd in Miracle World on a cartridge in the UK, you're looking at a £200 to £300 cartridge on eBay. Or
really?
You were when I was collecting retro stuff. I had one cartridge of Alex Kidd in Miracle World for the UK, and then I had about 5 American ones because they were so common that you could pick them up for like $10, and they played on the UK versions.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. But yes, this looks really, really nice. If you're not into Alex Kidd in Miracle World, then you're not going to really enjoy this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the trailer. I hear a lot of American shows where they're just like, why would they make this? And then there's me watching going, because of me. Because of British kids that didn't have a Nintendo because they couldn't afford them. So yeah, Alex Kidd in Miracle World. Metal Hellsinger. This is a rhythm game with a difference. It's a first-person shooter, and the music is all like death metal.
Excellent. Well, great. Kev's going to be happy.
Yeah, it's kind of, if they took Doom and the current iteration of Doom and went we've got a banging soundtrack. How about we make it so you have to shoot in time with the beat, and the beat is like brrr, like really fast, frantic. I'm willing for that idea. Demon Turf. The trailer's a bit underwhelming. It's a 3D platformer. I really don't like the press release they sent out as well. This is a 3D platformer with attitude.
Oh, God.
No.
Yes,
Oh,
it's the
my
1990s.
God, it's 1992 called. It wants its game back. Jesus.
Yeah, it's the trailer's not that impressive, but some of the stuff that the team's done in the past I thought looked interesting, so I might check this out if they do a demo.
Yeah, I want to have some words with them, though, about that platformer with attitude nonsense.
Foreclosed, it's a cyberpunk action shooter, and it's done using a comic book aesthetic, much like 13, I think it was. Was that Swery's game? Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Which also is getting a remaster coming out end of this year, I think. Looks really nice. So it's that kind of idea of you've got this cell shading to make it look like a comic book, and also this kind of actualized onomatopoeia, so someone's stepping up behind you, you see step, step, step appear on the screen, or you shoot a gun and bang, 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 you know, that kind of thing. I really like that idea.
Do we know what platforms that is?
Skeet. No, not yet. At the moment, these are just shown off on PC, I believe. And also, I haven't got. I think I've got one release date out of the lot of these as well. Mostly it's TBA 2020 or 2021. So there you go. The Guerilla Collective. So I believe this was a joint between different sites like Kind of Funny and GameSpot got together and did their version of E3 as well. One it's been shown off. A lot of these games have been shown off for a while, but they're getting closer. Fights in Tight Spaces, which I believe is also...
I really like the look of this. Do you know what this reminds me of?
Go on then.
Metal Gear Acid. Discuss.
Metal Gear Acid cross between the recent John Wick game, cross between Superhot. That's kind of what it looks like.
Okay.
So, you can actually try this at the moment. There's a Steam Summer of Demos or something going on at the moment where they've just released loads of demos at the same time for all these new games coming out. Fights in Tight Spaces is on there. It looks really, really nice. So, yeah. Just check out any of these trailers that I'm talking about. These are the best ones I could find.
Yeah. Card-based strategy action.
Haven, I don't really know what's going on here. This is something that's been, I think this was unveiled about a year or two ago, but we're getting closer and closer to looking like it might be coming out. This is PC and console platforms, and it's the idea of an RPG that you can play solo or in co-op as well. And from I can tell, it looks like you've got superpowers and you're flying around the planet of Namek, and like there's the same kind of color structure to it. It's interesting. It's very colorful, and I like the idea that you can do an RPG two-player.
Stylistically, it reminds me of like the art style. It's like if No Man's Sky had a baby with Gravity Rush.
Okay, I like that. What I don't like is the story. I think the two characters you're playing, one is male, one is female. I think they are lovers. So, say me and Tim are playing this game together. We have scenes where we're in bed having a chat. So,
and that's different from. I mean, you've always been a bit, a little bit Morecambe and Wise / Bert and Ernie, anyway, haven't you?
We're social distancing. It doesn't work anymore.
He can be your nominated friend from another household.
I'll be your support bubble.
This one isn't a retort. This is the next game.
I just can't quit you.
It's called Just Die Already. This is an old people mayhem sandbox game created by the designers
old people mayhem sandbox game.
Yeah, it's created by the designers of Goat Simulator, so that should tell you what you need to know. This is coming out some point this summer. Again, there's a demo up on Steam at the moment, and I can't remember what the name of the game was, but there was a PS3 exclusive where you were like, it was kind of like a Jackass simulator. You did stupid things and tried to rack up damage and cost that the people had to spend on repairs and stuff. And it kind of reminds me of that, but better.
Well, I just like the fact that the trailer is basically it's a naked old dude.
Sold.
Picks up a swimming nude. Picks up what can only be described as the world's largest meat sausage.
Hello.
Fondles
that's my nickname outside the podcast.
Fondles it. Then and then in the background is a load of dead fish.
That's a lot of fish.
And that's it. It's great. It's a great trailer. You have no idea what's going on. It could be done by Hideo Kojima, as far as I know.
Yeah, when it starts off, it's like, Hideo Kojima, please stop blocking my calls or something. Yeah. Gory. This one I picked out for you, Dan. Do you like third-person hack and slashers?
Hey, why not? Bring it on.
Would you like to do that as an adorable cat?
Please.
Then
it's the only reason I'm going to buy a PS5 so I can be a cat.
This is Gory Cuddly Carnage. This is the game for you, Dan. A hack and slash with a cat on a hoverboard, and the hoverboard is a weapon, and it's a hack and slash game.
Excellent.
Perfect.
All right, bring it on. Excellent. Why am I killing unicorns in it?
Because why not? It's Cuddly Carnage.
Okay. All right. Okay, fair enough.
One that I thought would be a good one to throw in after the recent love for the Streets of Rage title that came out. This is Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch, which I think this is one of those games that were funded on Fig.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hand-drawn...
What happened to that as a platform?
It's still going. Really? Still doing stuff.
Making rich people richer.
Yeah. So this is a hand-drawn arcade-style side-scrolling beat-em-up with tag team mechanics where you play as the titular Jay and Silent Bob, and you beat people up. I was a little confused because I saw this game announced 4 years ago, I think it was.
Really?
So it might be 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. I don't know. My life is a blur. But then recently they went, the Jay and Silent Bob's game's out, and I looked at it, and it was all done in 8-bit Nintendo style. I was like, that's not what I saw. What's happened to the game? And it turned out they were making 2 games, one that was going to fund this one, basically. So,
although it has got retro pre-cardiac arrest weight and weight loss edition Kevin Smith, though,
yes.
I have to say.
Yeah, this was made pre-heart attack, so there you go. That's all the ones I could find that I liked in Guerilla Collective. So the next one, which Tim would be happy about...
Now that we're done with things that we like, we're going to talk about VR.
Well, I think you're going to like one of these, Dan, and I'll get to that in a moment. The Upload VR Showcase, which I was excited about because they said there was going to be details on the new Walking Dead game, Walking Dead Overkill, I think it's called, or Oversight, something like that. And this is the one that ties into the TV show. It just turned out to be a video of our favourite Norman Reedus without his magical fetus, talking to the camera saying, hey, I'm Norman Reedus and I'm recording my lines from home because COVID. This is where I'm recording my lines. No game.
Oh, look,
play.
It's my toilet.
Yeah.
Reverb comes for free.
Pistol Whip. This is already out on PC. Came out last year, but this is coming to PSVR on the 28th of July. This is a action rhythm first-person shooter. So, again, this has turned up twice.
Seems to be a thing at the moment.
Yeah. There's a few of these rumbling around.
Yeah, it looks like a super hot VR art style if you took all the white, orange, and black and went neon and just threw it at everything, because it looks really nice.
Yeah, this was well thought of when it came out on PC, though. Like, some people seem to hold it in high regard. They kind of announced the roadmap, and as part of that, they announced the PSVR announcement. But they're also talking about more content that's coming more immediately to the PC version, and then will seemingly eventually come to the PSVR version as well, basically. So, yeah, I'm interested.
One of the more interesting ones I thought in the VR section was Trial by Tang. So this is a VR puzzle game where it kind of looks like they're setting it up like a game show, but it's not. It's puzzles set out for you like a kind of Mandarin type character. And puzzles in VR, first-person puzzles in VR work very, very well. So
yeah.
This is one to look at. And again, interesting demo, interesting premise. I like the look of it. Now, I got to see if I can say this one right. It's Operincia? Operincia?
Operincia.
Let's go with
Sure. Operincia. The Stolen Sun. This is a game that's already out.
Night, as I like to call it. Stolen Sun. Night.
This is a old school turn-based RPG, dungeon crawler style game, but this is already out on PC and PlayStation 4. But there is a VR update that is coming to PC and PSVR in the works at the moment, and it seems to add a lot to it. So check that one out as well. And lastly, I believe you've played this before, haven't you, Tim?
Yes.
Phantom the Covert Ops, or Phantom Covert Ops?
I thought this was out already. Is this not a sequel? Have they added more to it or something? I can't remember, but
I don't think it's out yet, because if you look on the...
Okay.
Yeah, I think you played it in preview. It's not on Oculus yet. It's on the Oculus page.
Okay, and then since I played it in preview, like they did announce that David Hayter is the antagonist, basically, which they also mentioned.
And that's why this one's for Dan, because he gets to do his David Hayter voice.
Oh my god, I'm in another video game. Gear.
It's like Call of Duty, but I'm in a canoe. Call of Canoe-y.
Yeah, this is the stealth canoe game.
Yeah, and
Good.
It's that sounds daft, but because it
Liquid.
it lends itself well
And
to
to
the
be
kind
fair,
of locomotion
it is a little bit
method, and it is a little bit daft, but it kind of lends itself well to you sitting still and having a locomotion method that makes sense without you having to get up and do
Will
something.
you do the locomotion with me?
And,
You've got to swing your hips now.
That it's one game that I'm not sure will ever come to PSVR, and so it's one thing that makes me want an Oculus as well, basically. But hey,
Do want a Quest.
if it wasn't for new consoles this year, I think I'd purchase one. But
When you find out why your character's in a canoe, then you will feel ashamed.
I can probably guess.
Yeah?
it's because his
Probably guess.
legs
Massive erection.
breathe water or something.
Oh, really? He's just trying to wait it out in the canoe.
Yeah,
See?
that's it. That's all the news we got this week. Do you want some points of interest?
Oh, interest my points, Coleman. Nice segue, by the way, from going can't get out of the canoe because he's got a massive knob on. So here are some points of interest.
Here is some points of interest. So after last week where we spent way too long talking about the PlayStation 5, and I did mention we didn't know what's a exclusive and what's a timed exclusive in the lineup, I do have a comprehensive list of exclusives for the PlayStation 5 now. So
Hit me with it.
Astro's Playroom, as I said, comes preloaded. Demon's Souls, Destruction All-Stars, Gran Turismo 7, Horizon 2, Electric Boogaloo, Project,
Hey.
Athia, Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, Returnal, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, and Spider-Man Miles Morales. They will all be
that's a
available on
good
the
list.
PlayStation 5 only.
Yeah.
Only.
Only.
Only, as in ever.
Ever.
Ever. Even though Horizon is coming to PC at some point soon.
Shut up.
The sequel will not.
For all intensive purposes, these are PlayStation 5 exclusives.
Oh my god, are we going to have a voiceover fight?
I was just going to say, though, that's good, though, for me, because I want every one of those games, no? Like, that definitely makes me want to
You'll
PlayStation 5.
still have to
at
pay
the moment.
money for them.
I'm not saying that, I just expect to be given them for free for some reason, Dan. Yeah, but no, it's a good list of
That'd be
exclusives,
nice.
no?
You can help.
With exception to, and it's just my own personal preference, Gran Turismo 7 and Demon's Souls. I think everything else I'm excited for, and those
See,
I would kind of get if I had nothing to do.
that is the only Souls game
Gran
I care
Turismo
about.
I like the look
and
of.
Gran Turismo I like, so yeah, I'm good.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, depending on
Forza
what
boy.
the price point is for the PS5, Horizon, just the present Horizon 2, almost makes it a must-purchase platform for me. Just
Confirmed
because
is not a launch game, Horizon.
not
No,
launch,
2021
yeah.
they're aiming for,
Yeah.
which means it's coming out in 2023.
So,
excellent.
on that question, just quickly,
but yeah, I mean,
what do you think you'll be picking up at launch?
that makes me inclined to perhaps wait a bit.
Really? What, on the console?
And
purchase?
hopefully it gets up on the console
Ooh.
purchase. Yeah.
Okay.
See, I'm happy because I got Gran Turismo 7 and Spider-Man Miles Morales day one, so that I'm good. But what do you guys think you'll be picking up day one from what you know of the day one things?
BugSnax.
COVID-19 is what I'll be picking up.
Have they said whether Ratchet and Clank's a day one release or not?
No. I think, again, you're looking at 2021 for that one, but
That's
they've
a
not
shame.
actually given a date yet. All they've said is the female Lomax that you saw in the trailer will be a playable character.
Yes, I saw that.
Excellent.
Good.
Unknown female.
Just to balance the scales between the blue and the green, you bunch of PlayStation marks. Not like me, the Xbox fanboy. Cut me and I bleed green. Forget your Gran Turismos.
Yeah,
Forza all
that's-
the way, boys.
Cut me ugly green. That's syphilis for you.
Oh no. That's how Al Capone went. So yes, I managed to also get a list of all the current confirmed titles for the Xbox Series X Smart Delivery System, which is
So just to remind everyone, smart delivery is if you already have it or buy it on this generation, it's there ready for you to use on the new one.
Yes, if you pick these up on Xbox One, they'll be waiting for you on Xbox Series X, which is a great idea.
I have a question.
Go on then.
I assume this is just if you buy the digital copies.
I don't know, and I don't think they've confirmed either.
I also have a question.
I don't think this will. It might be. Sorry, I'll get to you in a second. I think this might be digital because I know they did this with Ubisoft in the previous generation. If you bought Assassin's Creed Black Flag on PS3 and you wanted it on PS4, you could put your disc into the PS4 and it would go, okay, you can upgrade for 10 quid or something.
It was a small charge, wasn't it?
Yeah. Sorry, what were you going to ask, Tim?
What I was going to ask is, basically... what was it? No. Does it work the other way round? Like, if you buy it on the new console, Xbox Series X, do you get access to an older copy as well? Or is that only
That is such a
upgrading?
classic Tim question. That is a classic Tim question.
If you've bought yourself an Xbox Series X and, times are hard, you need to sell it, so you pick up a cheap Xbox One, can you still play your game?
No.
That is amazing.
What I'm thinking there is, say I buy Cyberpunk on the Xbox Series X and that's in my lounge, then I could put the Xbox One in my bedroom and then you put your Xbox in the bedroom.
All right, I see where you're going.
Okay.
Again, I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I don't think that's been confirmed.
No, they haven't said that as far as I know yet.
That is a Tim Tim question.
Get Larry
right
Herb
there.
on the blower. We've got to find this out. Just for Tim. Okay, that's your homework, Tim. You find out. Do you know what?
You
I'm
get
sick
on
of
the
doing the
phone to Larry
research.
Herb.
You find out.
I don't think they've said, as far as I've seen, they haven't said anything on that yet. That's why I was asking.
Titles, and bear with me because the last one's funny. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Call of the Sea, Chorus, Cyberpunk 2077, Dirt 5, Destiny 2, Gears 5, Halo Infinite, Metal. How is Destiny 2? That's going to
60 frames a second. If you've got it already
no,
got it on.
I was going to say if you buy it on Xbox One that's not smart delivery. That's just Bungie going, we're going to let you have it on the next console anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think it's
Destiny 2, Gears 5, Halo Infinite, Metal Hellsinger, which we just spoke about, Rainbow Six Siege, Scarlet Nexus, The Ascent, The Second Extinction, Dinosaurs, Vampire, The Masquerade, Bloodlines 2, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and
like
then the brilliant one, Madden NFL 21, though that comes with the caveat of you must purchase Madden NFL 2021 on the Xbox One by December 31st, 2020, and upgrade on the Xbox Series X by March the 31st, 2021.
That's an interesting point you raised there, but luckily for me, I'm pathologically completely apathetic about Madden.
I just think it's interesting because Xbox went, here's the smart delivery, and EA, who does Madden? Is that EA? That is EA, isn't it? So EA Sports have gone, well, hold on there, player. We'll only agree to this if we put a time limit on that because we don't like losing money.
If you haven't bought a console at launch, what is the likelihood you'll buy one in January, February, or March? I mean, it's a bit less likely.
I'm trying to think what the difference was between mine. Well, I think PS4 came out September, November time.
Yeah, September.
And then I think I bought mine by July. So yeah, it's a fair whack of time in between.
Yeah, I got Xbox One on launch day, but I didn't pick up a PS4 for a good year afterwards, I think.
I got my Xbox One last October.
Finger on the pulse, Coleman.
60 quid. And then got a PC, so now I don't use it. Hey. Okay. There was big news, which I don't want to go into too much, but the internet seemed to have caught fire over Star Wars Squadrons and being excited about it, which... Two things. One, I'm not quite getting the excitement, but also we're not going to go into it too much because EA Play is tonight as we're recording, but we're not doing the same thing. Last time it was a special event. It was for the details of a console that we hadn't actually seen before. It was worth the time. I felt that we delayed the day. This is EA Play. Football and American football can wait till next week, I think.
And you'll be happy that
you can take your pig bladders and you can wait until next week, quite frankly.
I think I finished editing something like 2:30 on the Saturday, so I don't want to lose my entire Saturday again. Anyway, Star Wars Squadrons, it seems to be... so this does have a one player, you play a story mode and stuff, but there seems to be a 5-on-5 dogfight game between... TIE fighters and X-Wings, which good little premise, and I've recently just played I'm having a bit of a Star Wars a-thon at the moment because I've just watched through all of Clone Wars and now I've started on Rebels, and then I've gone back to New Game Plus Fallen Order, but as well I've just recently beat the story for Battlefront 2.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Good story, by the way. Good story.
I meant to go back and
interesting. Not sure the DLC add-on at the end for the extra story was really worth the wait, but the rest of it pretty good.
Why are you not excited about this? You sound down on Squadrons in general.
I don't know. I think it's just that it's got that one hook, and that hook is Flight Simulator, dogfights, and dogfights are really good in the Battlefront games. I like them, but the thing is, they wear out their welcome very quickly. I find. I feel like you need something to break up in between. But that might just be me. I didn't get why all the excitement for a pre-rendered trailer.
Okay, a few. Yeah, well, they're showing gameplay tonight, and that should be more interesting.
Have you not watched E3 before?
A lot of people have been jonesing for what was the old one, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, no, and a spiritual successor to that, and something's coming back. I was really hoping that this not exact game, but this type of game was on the way based on the fact that they did the Star Wars X-Wing kind of experience thing on VR, gave it away for free, which is very unlike EA. So I was kind of speculating that they were going to do this. And the full game of this is in VR. Like, I think this, may have a non-VR component. As I said, dogfighting is better in VR. I think it works better, and I think people in VR might have an advantage over people not in VR in this game. But, yeah, it's also not a full-price game. I don't know if you've seen that as well. It's, I think they were talking $40 mark, so it'll probably be our $34.99.
So $35.
Yeah, so
$36.99, $37.99, $39.99.
99, less than $40.
The fact it's got single player, I'm guessing that there won't be that much of the single player content, unfortunately. And the 5-on-5 didn't sound that exciting to me, but what sounds really exciting is if you get your squadron of 5 people together, you can then team up with other squadrons to take in mass battles with other squadrons of opponents as well. So,
like to take down capital ships, that kind of
type
stuff,
of like mass galaxy war type things.
I can't get one person to join me for Predator. How the hell am I going to get 5 to play flipping squadrons? Can I just to sidetrack?
Yep.
Do you want to hear a dog that sounds like a TIE fighter?
Yes.
Yes, always.
Wait.
Geraldine, hey, nice.
There you go. That's a dog that I think she's had some kind of throat operation.
TIE
so she's
Fido. I'll try that again. Third time lucky, TIE Fido.
TIE Fido.
Fido.
Okay, sorry.
But yeah.
See, it was so good, I'd say it 3 times.
I can't believe it's taken me this long to show you that video, by the way.
Yeah,
it's going to be like 3 years.
Really excited to see actual gameplay of this and see how it plays out. But I'm really excited for this game, basically. So, yeah, I was really happy. Even though it got leaked and it kind of spoilt the surprise a little bit, it was a nice surprise anyway, a good time in, generally bad times sort of thing.
It is nice to see new Star Wars games, and they're different Star Wars games. I did like, for all its faults, I did like the Battlefield 2 story. I really, really liked Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
And now that I've gone through and watched Clone Wars, and now I'm watching Rebels, it gives you a deeper appreciation for the game of Fallen Order, because it links a lot of that stuff into it, locations and characters and things. So yeah,
I need to go through and watch.
And as well, like that stuff ties into Mandalorian. So if you like any of those things, then
they are all good Star Wars things.
All really good things. So yeah, more EA Play stuff next week when we've actually watched the stream.
Yes.
Or I've watched the stream and then broken it down for Dan.
Thank you in advance.
I don't know about you, that's really surprising for me. The fact that it's coming out really soon. EA don't normally do an announcement so close to release, no? Like, you normally know about it a year or so in advance at least, kind of thing.
It's not a benchmark game that they're throwing out there. This is all intents and purposes, a budget game, a Star Wars game, but a budget game they're throwing out there. So they probably don't have that much a problem to go, and it's coming out next week or something.
But October 2nd, so, not too far away.
October 2nd.
But yeah, like,
it's close enough.
That looks really good. I'm really looking forward to seeing more on that. So yeah, I was going to say they confirmed that works with the Thrustmaster thing as well, which are already sold out on Amazon now. But I did consider buying.
What the hell's a Thrustmaster? Isn't that one of those things they sell you on shopping channels to make you get fit?
It's a joystick and throttle in kind of one joystick thing, basically. But yeah.
Oh, okay. They did say it would. It would be able to use flight sticks and stuff on PC. So. Okay. Have your points been sufficiently interested?
My points are tumescent now.
Oh my god. It was the Star Wars that did it. Or David Hayter, probably. So do you want to talk about what games that we done played in that?
Oh my god. Let's do that.
So first of all, Tim.
Yep.
I set us homework for this week.
Yeah, I failed.
Did you play Resident Evil 7?
No.
You failed.
I actually forgot I played
finished
any games this week. And if it wasn't for the fact I played some at the beginning of the week and then forgot about them. But, hey.
Well done.
Yeah.
I did play Resident Evil 7. I'm going to finish it in first person, then I'm going to go back and do it in VR.
Okay.
A lot of jump scares, a lot of kind of inspiration from horror films and stuff. It is a very good game. I did enjoy it, or I have enjoyed it thus far. The problem you got is they went, how do we shake up this formula of Resident Evil? So we'll go back to basics. We'll make it a kind of survival horror, and you don't know what's around the corner, and it's very kind of slow paced and building up. And then halfway through the game, it goes, and now it's a first-person shooter, and you're just going to get a gun and a grenade launcher and shoot stuff, and balls to the walls action, and I was kind of enjoying the scary stuff, and now it's just things
Any
jumping at me.
Any good discernible reason why they might have done that? Or
I don't know. We put guns in the game, now we're going to let you use them, I guess.
Oh, jolly good.
Yeah, but it's worth getting. And I think, I don't know if it's still on sale, but it was like $7.99 in a recent sale.
It does go on sale quite a lot
days of
as well.
PlayStation.
Yeah,
it does.
It's something I've heard is very good and especially good in VR and been meaning to revisit. So, yes, I failed in my homework, but...
Annoyingly, when I looked at the PlayStation 4 stream and went, wow, there are too many games that I want to play here, now it's just added Resident Evil 8 to the list because I had no interest and now I am very interested. So it's another bunch of money. Anyway, Resident Evil 7.
It's a tough life.
Yeah.
Hey, just because you said VR, and I've said this before, I still would like to see a farming game in VR called UR VR. If someone could make that happen, I would be exceptionally happy.
I'm going to look for VR. Oh, right, that's my homework. I'm going to go find a VR farming game for Dan.
Well, the closest I know of is Dino Frontier, but hey.
Tim, at the start of this, before we started recording, you said, I've played nothing this week. Oh, wait, hold on. I've got 51 games to talk about, to which me and Dan immediately died.
I actually bought 52 games this week, but I haven't had time to play one of them yet, which is incidentally is a kind of spiritual successor to River Raid, which is why I'm interested in it and have purchased it. But I haven't played that yet. But I have played 51 other games, which I'm going to talk about now. But yeah, fortunately...
you're not talking... I'm telling you now, you're not talking about all 51 games in your style of Tim Hibbs detail.
I'm not even going to read the list of the games. It would take me too long. But for anyone who doesn't know, this is a collection of games that is on the Switch. Its full title is actually called Clubhouse Games 51 International Classics, which is a bit of a mouthful and doesn't really tell you exactly what it is still. Yes?
I have a question. They released a demo for this, didn't they?
Yes, and you can download the demo for free. And I think from the looks of things, the demo allows you to play multiplayer across consoles with the demo as well, basically. Like if someone's got the game and you've got the demo, you can play the games that are in the demo. But it does a few interesting things. A lot of the games are very basic games. You've got checkers, chess, Ludo, a few.
Oh God, he's going to do it. He's going to list them all. He's going to list them all. Stop him down.
He's trying to sneak it in.
If you don't interrupt me, then I can carry on, and this carries on quicker. See how that goes? Anyway, but there is a few, like as I said, it's an international collection of games. There's quite a few games from like Japan and Japanese influenced, and immediately when you start playing through the games, it doesn't seem like this is a Nintendo product at all. It's very kind of plain and vanilla. The characters that introduce things and the kind of avatar that you give yourself aren't really cutesy or me-related. They're a bit more photorealistic and stuff, so it's a bit different.
Really?
And then when you're actually going through and playing the games, there's no Nintendo stuff on, at least initially. As you go through and actually play and unlock things and try out different games, it gives you like a Nintendo set of playing cards, There's a Japanese game called Hana Fuda, which I really like, actually. It's a set collecting game that I'd never heard of before. It's really complicated, but it's really good. And you get like a Nintendo set of those cards as well, basically, which actually makes it easier to do the set collection as well. But yeah, like, and I haven't seen if that how that carries on throughout, but yeah, it's nice to have that little Nintendo flavoring to it and giving it all that sort of stuff. It does have a
Nintendo flavoring.
Yeah.
If you had to give Nintendo a flavor, what would the flavor be?
Try licking one of your card things,
Testicles?
cartridges
No,
from
I can't do
your
that.
Switch.
I don't bend that way.
And then
Mine
you'll
are all
know.
digital, Tim. I can't do it.
But there's also a Nintendo level of polish throughout the whole game and throughout everything in terms of
Tastes like Pledge.
the presentation. It also does some really interesting technical things. So there's some games that do stuff that I've seen shown off about the Switch, but never seen a game that does it before. Like have the multi-screen stuff going on. So you can have like I think the golf is one that does it. It goes across like different screens for the golf course. The one that definitely does it is there's a simple scale electric style racing game where you're just holding down accelerate to go faster.
Oh, I
basically.
see. So the screens link up in Mario Party.
Yeah, the screens link up across various things, and you can have a track that goes across the various screens and stuff like that. And yeah, then there's some more kind of physically related games that either take advantage of the touch screen or take advantage of motion controls. So the one that I think's the best example of that in terms of touchscreen stuff is the air hockey. There's an actual air hockey table where you set the screen down flat on the table and you can have two players actually playing opposite each other just with one finger controlling...
On the world's smallest air hockey table.
But it's actually quite good fun. It works quite well. The physics are quite realistic and it kind of works.
What is that? You're both touchscreen or you're both using a Joy-Con to... motion or
no, you're both touch. I think you can do it with Joy-Con as well. I've only done it with touchscreen, but you're both got a finger where if you imagine like instead of holding the thing that
you both have a finger.
Instead of holding I don't know what they call it, but the thing that you hit the puck with in air hockey, basically.
Flippity jib.
Yeah,
exactly.
stick.
I don't know what you call it, but that thing. Instead of holding that with your hand like you would in real life paddle, you just place your finger on top of it, and then wherever your finger goes, it follows, basically. And yeah, that works quite well.
Modern technology. What will they think of next?
There's also bowling, and yeah, that's good, but also weird. Like that kind of relies on the motion control, and so it's a bit like Wii bowling kind of thing. You're just using one Joy-Con to bowl with. The thing I find really weird is that you hold down the button to start the bowling motion, but you don't let go of that button to release the ball, which just seems really odd and really not in keeping with what you're doing kind of thing. But yeah, like most of the games are like fun. Most of them you can play either single player. A lot of them you can play multiplayer on one consoles. Some of the card games you can't, where you have to have a hidden hand of cards and stuff like that. But all of them are available on multiplayer online and stuff like that as well, basically. And yeah, like as I said, it does some really interesting things technically. All of the games are at least like a fun time waster. As I said, some of them are really simple, like Connect 4 and silly other things. I've wasted a silly amount of time on
Legally Different Connect 4.
Yeah, yes, and it's just 4 in a row, I think it's called, and stuff like that. And there's quite a few of them that are games you're like, oh, that's a different name in this country, but they call that something over there and stuff like that. And but yeah,
Connect 4 on the demo, I'm surprisingly bad at.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually
you bad at Connect 4.
It's actually a harder game. It's got more tactics than you think for a simple game kind of thing. But
I have a question. With slot cars, which is the generic version of Scale Electrics, can you set the track up in such a way that you do a death dive of doom from the top of your stairs?
The DDD.
But
the treble D.
So I don't know how the track building side of that works, but it's all fixed tracks when you're just playing it on one screen, basically. I haven't seen any track building elements to it.
Boo.
Yeah.
So this isn't a full price game, isn't it?
I think it's £35, which just
35 for how many games?
For 51 games.
51.
Wow.
By Grand Theft Auto? Yes.
Don't, Coleman.
But there's some really fun games. There's a lot of well-known games like Texas Hold'em and Blackjack that are just fun to have access to. it's weird that they didn't have like different versions of poker, and there's a few card games that I think's missing. Like it could do with probably a different name, but a version of like Head would be good in there, basically. And
Timothy.
I thought we were going to get this whole way without a censor.
Sorry.
Who would have thought? I haven't done one yet.
We're on YouTube now, mate. You're not allowed to do that.
And yeah, but generally, like, even if you just take like 5 minutes going through each game, like, you're going to have quite a lot there. And stuff like chess and checkers have like various different levels of computer opponents. It goes from like normal, hard, amazing, and impossible.
Novice is
like
novice
that,
in there,
basically.
Tim. Is novice in there?
No, unfortunately not. So I'm
Keeps
screwed.
crashing at checkers.
But there's some
Wow.
really good games that I like heard of before and never encountered, never played, like Mancala, that I really liked. I always wanted to actually like familiarize myself with like games like Backgammon again, and it's really good at like, it doesn't teach you all the rules very well, but it's good at having like a simplified list of the rules that you can have a look at to get an idea, and it gives you a couple of like hints and tips of tactics as well, basically. But you can also turn on a little system that kind of, in a lot of the games you can turn on a little like, and you can turn it on and off as at will, but you can have a little system that will tell you the available moves to you and kind of guide you through the game a bit as well, basically.
I have a question.
It also has a piano.
That's not the question.
That's not a question. That's a statement, Timothy.
I was getting that in before your question.
A genuine question. So hearing you talk about the bowling when you got to swing the thing and you got to press the thing but not let go of the thing, does this mean that it's only playable in non-handheld mode on a standard non-light Switch? So, like with the bowling game, could you play it on a Switch Lite?
With the bowling game, it has an alternative control method where you can use touchscreens, but I found that to be quite terrible. So,
Okay.
I think it was a slight afterthought, basically, possibly for those people that don't have the option. But I found this best when playing on the TV and, bowling to the TV. But you could do it in a, garden roof party or a gym,
Karen.
or wherever you did it. But yeah, like...
Hey Siri, is it raining?
I think you have to have some interest in some of the games that are there, but if you've got like kids in the house and you want, or this would be an excellent collection to have like on holiday and stuff like that to keep kids entertained for a long period of time, because there's loads of different games to
Please
mess around
make sure
with.
they're your own children.
Yes.
Don't go all pipe at people.
I would say,
not
I mean,
good look.
I take my Switch when I go traveling, and me and my girlfriend will use it on the, not on the, but on the plane so much. That's when I'll sort of lock down and play on my own. But when we're on the train to get to the airport, that's when we'll play like Mario Kart or something. This looks like a perfect replacement for that, basically, because it's quite difficult playing Mario Kart on that tiny screen separated on the table with two players.
Well, you can also tailor the type of game you're playing to the environment that you have available to you as well. So, like, you could easily play chess on one screen, and just touchscreen that away. And
Or
stuff
bowling
like that.
on the toilet.
Oh.
But
Or Connect 4 in a forest fire.
yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
As I said, it's a lot of simple games,
Mahjong
but
in the garden
done
shed.
really well as a really good collection with a Nintendo level of polish that makes it an easy thing to recommend, basically.
Connect 4 in a privy.
Scalextrics down a drain.
All
Solitaire
of
in a
these
sewer.
options and more.
Yeah. For just $35.99 on Nintendo Switch. Put that in your advert.
Oh my god.
We didn't cover it in news last week because of the PlayStation 5 stuff kind of taking over, but there was a bunch of Destiny news.
Yes, it was.
What are your thoughts?
Are you excited?
So there's going to be no Destiny 3.
No, they're sticking with Destiny
Confirmed.
2 and using it as a platform.
Does it have a story yet?
Of which I have a problem with, but I'll let you do yours first.
Yes, okay, so in terms of does it have a story yet, yes, it looks like the threat of them putting a story in Destiny may eventually come
Already
true.
got a story.
But I mean, to be fair, to address Tim's point, they have dangled a lot of story things in front of us, but have generally not, those haven't led to a payoff as yet, which I think they're starting to turn around with the new season. But it's still early days yet. So basically what they revealed was they didn't want to do what they did with Destiny,
Don't do what Destiny did.
Don't do what
Don't do what Destiny did. Don't do it. Don't do it.
What Destiny Dinklage did.
Yeah, don't dunk your Dinklebot is what you don't want to do. So they're not making what they viewed as the same mistake twice, insofar as they're not having a scorched earth hard reset between Destiny 2 as it is at the moment and what comes after it. So they're sticking with Destiny 2 as a platform. What that means, apparently, is because it's complicated and stuff, that's pretty much how they put it, in order to keep things manageable in the game, they're going to have to vault stuff.
Jump over
Which means that... No.
Yeah, horse vault.
Yes. Why
Vault
not?
box.
Okay, fine. Look, yes, they're all going to get on little horses and they're all going to do little jumps. It's all going to be marvellous. Essentially what they're going to be doing is kind of mothballing old content. And the way they put it is that all of kind of stuff up to, I think, Shadowkeep, and which is the Destiny 2 expansion we're coming towards the end of the year of this year. And all of Destiny 1's content would be in the vault. And the way they're trying to sell it to us is like, hey, look, it's in the vault, which means we could bring it out of retirement at any time. So apparently they're doing this because it's just very complex to develop for Destiny 2. I think that's probably because actually there's some pretty old technology in the engine that they have at the moment, and I think it is becoming very cumbersome to do anything with. So by moving bits of content that are problematic, it allows them to update the tech in the existing game engine and then at their own pace patch the old content back and reintroduce it at some point. So there is the issue that means that some old content like the first raid in Destiny 2 is going away. There are 2 planet locations that are going away for the time being. But on the bright side, it does mean that we're going to be getting Destiny 1 content back and Destiny 1 locations back, like the Cosmodrome from Destiny 1 and also the Vault of Glass raid from Destiny 1, which I'm really looking forward to seeing how they rebalance and deal with that and give it hopefully a bit of spit and polish.
I could Vault of Glass again.
I like a Vault of Glass. I could Vault of Glass again.
I've only done it once. I could do it again.
It's lovely. I like Vault of Glass.
I know you do.
I know. It's a great raid. Love it. So, yeah, that's basically the case with what they're doing with content. And as part of this, as well, to try and keep the game feeling fresh, and I think this is probably the next thing that drew fanboys' ire, was essentially this idea of sunsetting items. So that items you pick up can only be infused up to a certain power. So that means with each season, as the power cap increases, there will be some guns, some items that you can no longer take forward with you because they won't be competitive because you can't bring their power level up. Kind of exotic stuff that doesn't apply to, but I think it's them trying to get themselves out of the issue where there's kind of like really powerful go-to guns that everyone uses all the time, and they want to move away from that, which I can kind of understand from a game design perspective, but at the same time, it's a bit of a funny one, especially when you kind of layer on top of that a number of these guns have kind of add-on items that you could only buy from the Eververse store. So what about people like gun ornaments, stuff like that? So what happens if you sunset them and people's purchases? One other good thing, it sounds like they're massively de-emphasizing the microtransactions in the game. And you can see evidence of that in this current season, where actually all the good stuff has been moved to season pass progression, and it's just kind of like if you want to get the old seasons stuff, that's where you have to spend real money, which I think is probably not an unreasonable way of doing it. So if you really want something that's kind of available for free for a limited time, you've got to work for it. But you can still go back and purchase it after the fact if you really want it. So I think that's probably a reasonable halfway house. In terms of content, there's at least going to be 3 more years of Destiny 2. There is the Beyond Light expansion, which is this year's. Then there is the Witch Queen, I believe, the year after that.
The Witch Queen, I believe.
And then it's which we don't believe. And then there is Destiny 2, Electric Boogaloo, Lightfall at the very last, which sounds like that's probably going to be where Destiny 2 draws to a close. Probably the Destiny universe as a whole draws to a close as well, because it's coming to the end of their 10-year. Will be coming towards the end of their 10-year cycle for the franchise at that point. So, yeah, I mean, again, the problem is, and I'm as guilty of this as anyone, Bungie are really good at talking things up. What they've not been so good at of late is actually delivering. And the last season of Destiny, not the one that's just gone active, the last season of Destiny 2 was not good at all. To be fair, this season, from what I've seen so far, looks like they're actually finally bringing some narrative threads together. And I think if you're familiar with the lore, it goes some interesting places and has the potential to go to do so. So, yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic, but at the same time, I think a lot of people feel like they've been burned by Destiny before. But the fact
I see some people saying they're getting back into it. Friend of the show, Sarah Dyer, said that she was quite keen on Destiny 2 again.
I mean, they have sorted a number of its problems out, and you know that actually the gameplay loop this season is pretty engaging, which is good. I mean, I think if you're a PvE player rather than a PvP player, it's in a better place these days. I still think kind of competitive player versus player stuff is in a really bad place for it. So a lot of that's got to do with the way they design the networking architecture for it, and hey, you know, them's the breaks. But you know, I'm looking forward to a bit more Destiny 2. Surprise, surprise. But you know, I think they're going to go some good places with it. So here's hoping.
Got a couple of bits before we carry on. I got a couple of bits of extra news to add if you wanted.
Okay.
It looks like NetherRealm are now hiring for new staff to do next-gen versions of the next Mortal Kombat game and the next Injustice game, presumably because their previous ones have died from exhaustion. So there you go. Also, weirdly...
Interesting, bearing in mind the Warner Brothers stuff we're talking about.
Yeah. And also, this might mean nothing to you, but this one's a weird one. Aaron Webber, he's the guy who runs the Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter account. Over the last 5 years, basically brought Sonic the Hedgehog's name up through Twitter by being a really bizarre Twitter account. He's stepping down, so there you go. Extra news. But the Twitter account for Sonic the Hedgehog over the last 5 years has been amazing, so go check that out. I've played a bunch of demos this week, and
cool.
Some I can run through very quickly, and one that I can't really, but I'll do as best I can. So first of all, I mentioned last week or the week before Fight Crab. A game where you play as a giant crab and you fight. And you fight
first rule of Fight Crab, you don't talk about Fight Crab.
Yeah. The demo's out on Steam right now, and it is everything I wanted. It's basically... what was that? There was like a game where I think it was like Rise of the Monsters
King
or something, where you fought giant... King of the Monsters. Yeah, that sounds right. King of the Monsters on the Mega Drive. Yeah. It's like that, but you're a giant crab, and it's 3D.
I think it was a Neo Geo game.
Cool.
Anyway.
Neo Geo had more characters as well, if I remember correctly, and a sequel. But yeah, this game is brilliant. I can't wait for it to come out. There is a bit of an advertising, false advertising with the game's title, because I've been fighting crabs, and then all of a sudden a lobster with a handgun comes into the game, and I'm not happy. Yeah. And also, I didn't know there would be coconut crabs in the game, and I am genuinely terrified of coconut crabs.
Who the hell is
that is a very specific phobia.
Yeah. Go to the Natural History Museum sometime. They're terrifying. They're massive things. I'm
going to have to look one up.
Could
now.
you still step
I'm looking one up live on air. I don't even care.
They're like crabs, but they're spiders. And but anyway, they're massive things. I don't like them. Yeah, the game's brilliant, and I had some fun with it. I'll put some footage in the video version.
Holy
there you go. I'll put some video footage up in the.
They're horrible.
In the video version of this podcast, but there you go.
They can weigh up to 4 kilograms.
Yeah, they're massive. They're terrifying.
Jesus.
They hide in coconuts, and then when you crack them open, they come out and go, rah! Right, I made that bit up. But they have real, like, they have, like, taxidermy coconut crabs in the Natural History Museum. That's where I first saw them. I was like, I never want to see one of these things in the real life. Anyway, giant crabs. It's fun. Hold a knife, hold a gun. And also in the video footage that they show before you actually play the demo, they show some of the weapons from the actual main game. There's a Mjolnir, there's lightsabers, double-ended. You see a crab spinning a double-ended lightsaber like he's Darth Maul. It looks brilliant.
Excellent.
I don't know how they did that because it's very hard to control. But anyway, Inmost, that was another one I played on Steam as part of the Steam celebration demo download summer thing. But anyway,
Right.
Inmost 2D retro style pixel puzzle platformer type game.
Ooh, okay.
More emphasis on the puzzle than on the puzzle solving than the platforming. Though there is a bit of reactionary kind of what are you doing about this game. It's very. I believe I played this in EGX, but I had to put the demo down because my Final Fantasy demo time was coming up, and I had to go run to that. But I remember playing a little bit and went, "Yeah, okay, that's interesting. I'll come back to this." And now I have, and I've played more of it, and it is very interesting. Though it's done in a very kind of grayscale, depressing, and it's meant to be a game about loss, apparently, according to
Sounds
the
fun.
intro text.
Sign me up.
It is very interesting.
Is the art style a kind of two-tone, kind of blue and grey kind of thing? Yeah, I think I've seen this somewhere. Maybe at EGX as well.
Yeah,
but...
you were standing over my shoulder as I was playing it, talking to the guy who was the developer.
Well, there you are.
Yeah, it. Again, I'll put more footage of these games in the video version of this podcast on YouTube. BigRedBarel TV. Also, Destroy All Humans. I've already put videos of this up.
Ooh,
the gameplay and a graphics comparison. Yes, actually, it's very good. And because I couldn't remember how the main game went, because I played it on PS2 however many years ago this game came out, I went and they've actually recently put this in Games with Gold, so you can download it on your Xbox One, but it's the original Xbox version of it, and that's what I did my comparison through. You can play a free demo through Good Old Games, GOG.com, and it's really worth checking out. It's not only improved visuals, but I think they're using the original voice takes from the original game, but polished them up a bit. And why wouldn't you? You've got the guy who played Zim in Vader Zim in the game, but it's really well done on the improvements. There's a lot of stuff that was irritating in the previous game, like the ability to remove brains from the heads and things would take ages, and everything's a lot snappier,
to
faster,
be fair,
looks better.
it's pretty tricky to remove a brain.
It is. Spoken from a doctor.
Yeah.
Not if you have alien technologies.
It's not something you can do by accident.
But what I was worried about is this was just going to be a coat of paint on a previous game, and that doesn't usually work out the way you want it to, because you go, oh, it's a better looking version of this game, I'm going to play it and love it.
terribly.
And you go, oh, I'm playing a 15-year-old game and it doesn't work as well. This one by all intents and purposes, looks like a newly built game using older assets, and it works very well, in fact.
Excellent.
The last one I played was Ironman Vr.
So
demo
good
for that, which you have to play because if you play the demo, you unlock a suit of armor for the full game when that comes out. So
that's
if you
exciting.
have a PSVR, go play this demo so you can unlock that if you want the full game.
I need to go play some more of it.
Much the same criticism I had when I went to play this at EGX. It's very difficult to get the hang of this game, but when you do put the time in, and like I said, if you go back and listen to our EGX show from last year, I said, this is a really good game. It's very, very hard to do. I'm sure after some time and repetition, I can get the hang of it. And that is the case. You need this demo to get the hang of it before the main game comes out. It is very fun. And there's a fair bit of story as well.
Yeah.
Like when they showed off the trailer where they announced this, and you're Tony Stark and you're in the plane and the plane blows up and all that stuff, that all happens in this demo. There's a lot more than you got in the EGX demo that we played, which was just a bit of training.
Glad about that.
You get that training. Yeah, you get that training level, then you get some story stuff. You get the plane blowing up, which you then fly down, and you got to get your suit on in midair, and then you're trying to stop the plane from crashing with Pepper on there. So it's a fair whack of the game to be sticking on demo, and it is a lot of fun to play. The only criticism,
and then there's 2 like bonus level things as well, isn't it?
If there is, I haven't unlocked them.
Oh really?
There's like timer. There's like a battle attack and a time attack type thing, right? But it's all pretty much the same training demo. With different parts sectioned out.
I thought that first. It's actually different, and you get different weaponry as well. It's worth playing through.
Oh, okay. There's one of the weapons that I really don't like, and apparently this was very different. You can use your pulsar, so you put your hand up and you go, you fire the little laser out. But also, if you move your arm into a limp wrist position, then rockets come out of the wrist and you can fire them.
Limp wrist it.
And apparently, you were meant to hit a button and then the rockets would pop out of the wrist. And then players went, but why? It would feel more natural if you moved your hand down to make the rockets come out. And they went, that's a good idea. Let's put that in there. The problem you have with this is once you've put both your arms in this weird T-Rex position, how the hell do you aim? Like, you're aiming down all the time. You have to fly above everyone to actually use these rockets. So that bit I don't like. But everything else, absolute gravy.
The rockets found a little tricky. It's got the whole unibeam thing as well.
It's not all fun and games being a Marvel superhero, is it, Coleman? It's not all fun and games, mate.
I've always said I wanted to be Iron Man. Now I get to in VR. But yeah, I'll put more footage of I'll put footage of this in the Big Red Barrel UK video version of this podcast.
Hey, lovely.
That is all the games we done played.
I do believe it is. I do believe Tuesday is still not Tuesday.
No.
Any other updates on anything else, Tim?
Great Ormond Street? Yeah, I saw them announce this week that they've raised over £16,000 for charity so far, with more people doing more stuff, and that's without us doing the big event and stuff. But if anyone can sign up for that, you can do a live stream or just help support someone else's live stream. Live stream for video games, raise some money for Great Ormond Street, and all the money goes to help sick children. Check out Geek Out for Gosh on Twitter or Facebook or other places such as the Gosh website.
And a random Twitter scroll has found a random tweet that says the song Love Cats, but replace all mention of Love Cats with BugSnax. I'm all for that. Also, following on from last week, we mentioned the racial justice bundle on Itch.io.
Itch.io.
Do you know how much that raised?
They made over 5 million. The target was 5 million.
No, they made over 8 million.
Yeah, they were aiming for 5 million. They completely smashed that
Which
goal.
is more than 5 million. Arithmetic fans.
To jump on that trend as well, Humble of Humble Bundle fame, they have launched their own Humble Racial Justice Bundle, which was available for a week. So I think you've got 4 days left of that bundle. There is loads of cool stuff on there for you to check out. Humble.
You got 5 days as of now.
humblebundle.com/fight-for-racial-justice-bundle, or just go on humblebundle.com and it will be on the main page if still available.
And there is corking stuff there. Babber Is You, Jackbox Party Pack, Kerbal Space Program, FTL.
Yeah, they've advertised something like 1,500 pieces of content, be that book, cartoon, music, software, games, available. What is it, $30? Something like that? Yeah, it's a good deal. If you want to get in contact with the show, you can do so in the comments section on BigRedBarel.com. You can do so on Facebook.com/BigRedBarel and on Twitter.com/BigRedBarel or at BigRedBarel on Twitter.
Things.
Also, we have a Discord, which is available on the front page of BigRedBarel.com. I haven't set up the Me Discord yet. I looked at it and it confused me. I'll come back to that. Anyway, you can get in contact with us on the show. Send us questions, feedback, anything you want, like these fine people have. John Reed via Twitter. Does the announcement of the PlayStation 5 and details of it make you consider it a day one purchase over the new Xbox or vice versa?
It all depends when day one is, because we don't bloody know.
Well, for me, I'm definitely, no matter which way they come out, I'm definitely buying a PS5 day one. I don't think I've been yet given a reason to buy a Xbox Series X day one. In fact, I've been given a not to.
I'll probably, if I do get a next-gen console, what I would probably prioritise getting a PS5 over an Xbox, just because I've got a PC, so I can get a lot of the Microsoft exclusives that way.
Planning for day one PS5, but we don't know with this economy and what goes on, but we'll see. Xbox, I'm much in the same boat as Dan. I've got a PC that now plays games at a pretty decent level, so I'm more likely to just go PC all the way instead of getting Xbox. But if they come down in price and they have things that are available just Xbox and not PC, then I might sway that way. Xbox is usually my second console, and then
I think they're positioning themselves to make it as easy as possible to be your second console and to purchase a Xbox as soon as you can, basically. But yeah.
So Thomas Gibbons via Twitter also, he said, "Do ye think?"
I like the
We
whole
like
worldie.
oldie, and also it's a Gibbons, so Dan's got a natural affinity. Yeah.
No relation to me
relation.
Literally
whatsoever.
in your family
That
tree.
No
he
relation.
knows of. We have found your long lost son.
Yeah.
Thomas Gibbons, do ye think most of the PlayStation Studios games shown off will be exclusive to PlayStation 5, or they will have a less powerful version for the PS4? I can tell you off the bat, the ones that we read out earlier, they are all exclusives for the PS5. They won't be PS4 titles. However, you will be happy to know BugSnax will be available on PlayStation 4 as well as PlayStation 5.
Well, thank God
Yeah, I
for
think
that.
most of the indie games, it's a fairly safe bet that they'll be on PS4 as well, no? Because there's still a large established audience there for them, basically.
The vast majority of the Super Whiz-Bang stuff, though, I think is going to be PS5 exclusive, since they want to give people a reason to upgrade. So,
Talking about BugSnax.
hey.
And lastly, Skydark via Discord says, question of the week.
Yeah?
Is there a game that is considered to be really bad but is your secret guilty pleasure?
I'm just going to say it before you two do, Destiny 2. Okay, I
wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't going to say that.
No, I knew Tim was.
I
know Tim was.
I wouldn't say guilty pleasure, but Days Gone, everyone took a massive turd on that game all the way in the build up to the release of that game and following the release of that game. That is one of my favourite PlayStation exclusives of this generation.
See, I think you both went with a more immediate, like, more modern game. My mind immediately
Yeah, I've been
went
thinking
to,
about this all week.
Yeah, my mind immediately went to like more retro stuff and stuff as I played as a kid. Like games I really enjoyed, even though all empirical evidence would suggest that it's a terrible game. There is one game that is top of that list for me because myself and a friend played it for a period of a summer holiday when we were kids.
Rise, Son of Rome.
No, I like that game. Anyway, but it's a game called Emlyn Hughes International Soccer, and even for a football game, it is pretty poor.
In retro stuff, like I like Power Rangers on the SNES. I really like that game. Just retro stuff. I like a lot of the Jurassic Park games, and I'm in a current mission at the moment because Jurassic Park.
I saw you saying about this, yeah.
Yeah, outside of a park builder, there's not really great Jurassic Park games. So now I've turned to fan games.
Because what else do you want to do if you don't want to build a park?
Well, there's a deep wealth of really cool looking fan games, and one that I found was called T-Rex Breakout, which is a free game you can go play for Unity. And other than the janky movements of the T-Rex itself, it's a very beautiful game, but the whole thing is it's the T-Rex scene with the two cars on the track in the rain, he had the goat, all that stuff. There's not a lot happens. The T-Rex will come up and roar at you. You'll try and roll the car over. He'll either, if he sees you and you're in the car, he'll smash through the top of the car and then eat you. If you get out of the car, he'll eat you. That's it.
Oh, okay. Does water rumble
demo
on the dashboard as well?
No, none of that.
Oh,
it's literally from the point where it makes the noise of the wires tinging out of the electric. Anyway, if you look on my Twitter at Academic Coleman, I put up like a 2.5 minute little play that I was doing on that game, and it's literally just get eaten by a T-Rex. But it looks cool. There's one on Crytek that I'm looking into at the moment. I'll let you know next week if it's any good.
And again, even though it's still a bit park buildery, I'll mention Dino Frontier again this because it's not often I get a chance to mention that game twice in 1 week in answer to questions of two different things: a farming simulator and a thing. But yeah.
So anyway, that's about it. I'm bored. I want to go now. I'm hungry. Coleman needs to pee. Tim's already himself. It's dreadful. So yeah, that's your lot. Thanks ever so much for listening to all the things that Coleman said on the internet, and come say hello to us. We especially like it when people say hello to us on Discord. It's lovely.
Yeah, I just had to remember. I just had to remember it.
Is that like when Tim has to go toilet?
Yeah, guys, Last of Us 2.
Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah. Talk about that next week.
I'm not planning on picking it up, I don't think.
That's fine. I've already got it. Let's
guys,
talk about this next week.
That's on you then, Coleman.
So that's
on
good.
you.
Good.
Righty-ho, we're going to go now. We're going to let you go too because we're nice. Thanks ever so much for downloading us. And until next time, it's just my job to remind you that I have been Dan.
I might have been Tim.
I've had a remember.
Well done, you.
Good.
Well done, you. And they all lived happily ever after. Until next time, dear listeners, toodle bye.
You and your ears are quite welcome.
For the podcasting goodness that you just heard.
Why not roll on over
To BigRedBarel.com.
for more podcasts?
News, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet. BigRedBarel.com.
Do you know what? I'm in the market for a new Wi-Fi router, and I'm a happy boy. I'm a happy boy. The Sony Wi-Fi 5 is upon us.
This is the most overused joke since the since the reveal of the PlayStation 5.